All right, people, welcome to the Research Hour with Father Alex. And today we're going to talk about the feeling that if anybody that you're dating makes you feel this way, get the fuck out. Get out. Get out. Okay, because this is, no matter what they tell you, if they make you feel this way, get out. You're about to get played. Red flag, all right? Flag on the plate. Technical foul on Melissa the white girl and Tyrone the personal trainer. And if you don't get out, do not, and I repeat, do not tell people you watch my channel. Tell people you watch Matthew Hussey. Tell people you watch Mark Rosenfeld. Because similar to a child that grows up with parents that give inconsistent love, that grows up not knowing whether or not their parents love them unconditionally, that grows up whether or not knowing their parents is coming back from the grocery store and or not, right? Those types of situations where the child doesn't have that comfort and support from the caregiver causes attachment issues, causes an attachment disorder. And a lot of the times when we stay with people who are not consistent in our lives, or with people who make us feel who make us feel like we don't know whether or not this person likes us, there's like a blank, opaque screen between us and the other person's emotions where we can't even feel vulnerable around them. When you're in that type of relationship where you can't turn around and safely look back without fearing they're not going to be there. Or even you don't know whether or not they're going to text you back. You don't know whether or not you're going to see them next week. You don't know whether or not they're going to keep liking you the next day. When you text them, you're looking at your phone, and if they take too long, you get in a state of anxiety. When they don't pick up the phone, you get your thoughts start thinking about whether or not they're going to leave you, whether or not they found somebody else, whether or not they found another man, anything like that, right? Those are all signs that this person is not, in my opinion, this person is not validating you enough. Now, this is why I say this. When somebody likes us, it's obvious. Like, when somebody likes us, we know they like us. They give us a feeling of power. That's true, right? You notice that you have more control over them. And I'm not saying that you abuse the power, right? But you know you have influence over them, just like they have influence over you, right? The problem is that you could sense the influence they have over you, but you don't sense how you could influence them. You don't sense how you don't sense the control they have over you. All you could sense is the control they have over you, but you don't sense the control you have over them. You don't sense that you could influence them. You don't sense that you can ruin their whole day if you're not around. Those are symbiotic insecurities that humans need in order to develop a safe bond. It's not about both of you guys feeling secure and you guys are together feeling secure. No, it's about both of you guys feeling insecure because we can't read minds, and trusting that what you tell us and what you show us is really what's going on the inside. And that trust is broken when one person acts unpredictable, when one person acts hot and cold. And when you're in that situation, they're gonna make you feel insecure about where you stand with them. And if you stay there long enough, those thoughts gonna get more ingrained. You're literally making pathways. Literally, like going through the Amazon and creating a path. You're creating a pathway so that the next time you're in that relationship, your brain takes that same route it took for years, and you're gonna have the same thoughts. Do they like me? Do they want me? Am I good looking enough? Am I this or that? Those thoughts that you repeat to yourself when this person makes you feel insecure, your brain will look for that consistency. Your mind revolves around the same thoughts. We usually think the same thoughts. And if you keep thinking a similar thought, by habit, you're going to keep repeating those thoughts, even if the situation is not there. There's no winning here. You got to leave. So we're going to talk about what creates that. And the truth is, it comes down to our childhood. But don't forget, you may have had a great childhood, but if the wrong person catches you at the wrong time, at the right time, when you feel your lowest, they might get you into this. You might get roped in, just like your immune system. You can have the best immune system, but if you have like Bob the virus, if it catches you after 7 days of partying, and now you just came back from freaking Ireland on a 12-hour flight with no sleep, you might get sick in that moment because it caught you at a low state. That don't mean your self-esteem is always low. Most likely it's high. But sometimes we get caught at the wrong time. So this could happen to even the most secure. And this is the thing. Just like the few minutes before you get mugged, you kind of felt that they were gonna break up with you. You know those people who we kind of feel they don't like us, but we're sort of in denial about whether or not they like us. So we stay knowing we might get played, but in our minds we say maybe this one time I'm wrong. People, you're never wrong. I don't know if you notice your life, you're never wrong. You never win in those situations. I don't win in those situations. Tyrone doesn't win in those situations. Jamal doesn't win in those situations. Melissa, the white girl, doesn't win in those situations. Your body knows, and the way that your body communicates to you that this person isn't feeding you is that you don't know where you stand with them. It's like if your dog is barking in the middle of the woods, you know goddamn well there's a ghost waiting for you. There's a reason why you feel that way. Your body's picking up on things. Your body knows things that you don't know, people. And your body communicates to you. Your instincts, your inner voice is a literal body sensation. That your body's telling you, hey, leave. It's keep telling you, leave. This is not good. This is not good. And you stay. So what do you think happens? Your body will then acclimate your self-esteem to that situation. It'll say, you know what? This hard-headed motherfucker doesn't want to leave. You know what? Then let's adapt them to that environment. Because the only way that this person is going to survive this harsh, fucking drought-driven, famine-driven relationship is to lower their self-esteem. Similar to a person who lives in an island and there's not a lot of food, people naturally get smaller to adapt to the island. Your self-esteem also adapts to that situations and lowers your self-esteem so that you can stay. Lowers your self-esteem so that you can start telling yourself things that to most people sound ridiculous, but not to you. And what happens is by you staying in that relationship, the next relationship, if it's good, you're not going to get used to it. It's similar to a slave that was freed and has freedom. A lot of them will go back to their masters. A lot of people will go back to their shitty self-esteem relationship. Let's continue. This is because that's why a lot of people, when they're in a healthy relationship, they sabotage it because they're like, oh my God, freedom. Oh my God, eye contact. Oh my God, he's opening up. Oh my God, she's opening up. Oh my God, she wants to talk about things. Oh my God, she's telling me she likes me. Oh my God, she's touching my face. Oh my God, she cares. This can't be. And because your self-esteem is so low, like a prisoner who gets out of prison, it's not used to being in the outside world, and so they sabotage themselves and do something to get back to prison because that's the way they got comfortable in that situation. And don't forget, we're having 50% off all of our courses using the coupon code MINDFUL. So that means you could purchase my new course, Emotional Mastery, which can help you with this situation. It's a 6-week meditation course about how to use meditation to improve your emotional life. And you could purchase Charisma Blueprint, which is a course on how to be more charismatic through the inside and the outside. You can purchase it right now, and you can check out all of my other courses that I've made all throughout the year using that coupon code. And then 20% off working with me one-on-one using the coupon code MINDFUL. You could get the private one-on-one sessions where nobody knows about it. It's only me and you on the phone. Or you could purchase the email questions, right? Those people will destroy your attachment style. Now, what are attachment issues? An attachment disorder is a condition that affects mood or behavior. It makes it difficult for people to form and maintain relationships with others. These conditions usually begin in early childhood, but attachment issues may persist into adulthood. Most infants develop secure emotional attachments to their caregivers at an early age. They show healthy anxiety when their caregiver is absent, and they show relief when they are reunited. Some infants develop attachment disorders because their caregivers do not meet their needs. These babies are unable to bond with their caregivers, and they struggle to develop any type of emotional attachment. And to think that this doesn't happen to adults at a lesser degree is silly. When you stay with someone who doesn't give you the support that you need, you are slowly tearing yourself apart on the inside. If you have to ask me or anybody else whether or not the partner that you've been with for months truly loves you, truly appreciates you, you're headed down the wrong path because you need to heal. That's all that needs. Because if they do love you, you're not reading the signals. It means you have an insecure attachment style, right? Because when we feel insecure about our self-worth and somebody shows us and treats us like like they love us and they really care about us, our brain is not going to notice that because it has a confirmation bias of me having low self-worth. So let's talk about this, right? Because we want to talk about the insecure attachment. Infants who experience negative and unpredictable responses from caregivers may develop an insecure attachment style. And when they grow up, you could change your attachment style. Depending on the level of trauma that you go through, it's a lot easier to descend into darkness than to ascend from the darkness, right? So if you have a secure attachment style, you could become insecure if you stay with somebody who is unpredictable, with somebody who doesn't make you feel heard, who gaslights you, who's narcissistic, right? It's a lot easier for somebody to go from secure attachment to insecure than from an insecure to go to secure attachment style. Because of atrophy, things usually descend into disorder. They may see adults as unreliable and they may not trust them easily, right? So you being with someone who who makes you feel insecure about being with them, who you don't know if they're actually going to be there tomorrow, who you feel like maybe they could find somebody else. Those types of people will create more of that situation in your life because you're acclimating your body to be in an insecure state. Children with insecure attachment may avoid people, exaggerate distress, show anger, fear, anxiety. They may refuse to engage with others. So as adults, what might happen is that they become more dramatic because they want attention from their partner. They may cheat. They may show anger, fear, frustration, anxiety, right? Where you text a lot, call a lot, your face can almost be permanently in an anxious state. And the brain has a better system of predicting or looking out for negative signs than positive signs. In other words, your brain is better at focusing and locking in on danger than on reward. So it's a lot easier for your brain to get locked into a state of anxiety if you are with someone whom you don't know where you stand. Especially if this person one day loves you a lot and then the next day is acting super distant. That type of stuff, people, you don't fix that. You don't fix that. You leave. You don't stay in those types of situations. You leave. Signs of attachment issues: bullying or hurting, extreme clinginess, right? And this happens a lot where you'll be with somebody who you love so much, but they're so unpredictable that you cling on to them because their certainty, their presence calms you down because of how unpredictable they are. And that's fine, but it's like makeup, right? The makeup is to hide your flaws, but makeup can also makeup does damage the skin. So you initially put makeup on to hide your flaws, but the makeup is creating more flaws, which requires you to put more makeup on. So this person creates insecurity, so you cling on to them, and the clinging on makes you lose a lot of your self-efficacy, a lot of your independent nature. So you get even more needy. Your clinginess, because you feel insecure, creates more insecurity, which creates more clinginess. Failure to smile, intense burst of anger, lack of eye contact, lack of fear of strangers, lack of affection for caregiver, poor impulse control, where in this case in relationships, it comes where they can't control themselves. They can't control their behavior, where the impulse is clinging on to the partner. And the only reason why you're clinging on is because the partner doesn't give you any certainty. If the partner gave you some certainty, you will either leave or feel secure, right? And a lot of people use that as a strategy where you're doing that to get validation, but at the cost of the person's self-esteem. It's just not worth it. Self-destructive behavior, watching others play but refusing to join in, withdrawn and listless moods, right? Now let's talk about in adults, right? Signs of attachment issues in adults can include problems forming emotional bonds with others, difficulties with boundaries. Yeah. Or risky behavior. While more research is needed, adults with attachment issues may struggle to form romantic relationships. They may struggle to trust others or to express great deal of anxieties in their relationship. They may need constant reassurance or push away partners to avoid getting too attached. And honestly, this is the type of attachment that most people have nowadays, right? Especially because of social media. That's just how life is, man. But the keys to this situation, people, is not to fix the partner. You just can't fix the partner. You got to leave that person. Leave that person and expose yourself to the feelings you've been avoiding this whole time. Expose yourself to the pain you've been avoiding this whole time. And acclimate yourself to that feeling like anything. You get used to anything. As long as you don't panic and breathe and feel the pain, the anxiety, your body will slowly like feel it out, if that makes any sense. Because all your body wants you to do is to feel that anxiety and not run away from it. Because that anxiety is your own energy. And you not feeling that energy, it'll go in through the back door and destroy you from within. So you got to go into the pain. And how do you do that? Well, develop a meditation practice, right? You could either purchase the book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, go to a 10-day meditation retreat, Vipassana 10-day retreat, or purchase my course, Emotional Mastery. But the point is that this is an emotional issue. This is not a problem of behavior or the other person has to change. And a lot of times we just get stuck in these situations because this is what we're used to. Most likely you were used to your parents not giving you that complete comfort. So you cling on to partners who give off that same energy, that same vibe, because you're used to it. You're used to being in a rut, you know? And was I like that? I don't think so. I think with me, I just had a problem connecting emotionally with people. And I do take a lot of risky behavior. That is definitely, I'm a risk taker. That's one thing about me. It's what makes me me. But too much of that could hurt you, you know? And the solution is to isolate yourself. Isolate yourself, not permanently, but for a moment of healing. Isolate yourself from that person and isolate yourself from your normal routines and allow yourself to see yourself in its bare form, without the comfort of routine or the people around you, and see your emotions as they are. It is radical, but what you've done to yourself is also radical, quite radical actually, you know? So yeah, don't stay with people that make you feel insecure, that make you feel uncertain about where you stand in their lives. They're toxic. They're going to destroy your attachment and your possibility of finding happiness with another person, you know? It's better to start new, heal yourself, and see how your relationships develop differently from then on, okay? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you